Right now, back here, we have a development in one of Houston's most infamous criminal cases. The sentencing phase for David Temple begins this morning after a jury convicted him a second time of his pregnant wife's murder more than 20 years ago.
Fox 26's Shelby Rose joins us live at the Harris County Courthouse with a look at why it has taken so long to get to this point. Shelby?
Yes, the last time that we saw David Temple in court was more than 3 years ago, back in 2019, when a Harris County jury was unable to come to an agreement on his murder sentence. So they're trying again today. It was more than 20 years ago when his pregnant wife, Belinda, was murdered. It all happened on January 11th, 1999. Harris County prosecutors argued that Temple, who was having an affair with the school employee, shot his pregnant wife to death in their Katy home under the guise that he was out running errands. So how did we get to this point? Temple was convicted for the first time in 2007 for his wife's murder after years of investigation, but the ruling was overturned in 2016 and he was granted a retrial. That happened in 2019 and Temple was found guilty for the second time. However, sentencing could not be agreed on, so a judge declared a mistrial.
When two jurors are not willing to budge at all, there is nothing more we can do. It is best for all families involved, as well as society, to give someone else a try.
And Temple has remained behind bars ever since on a $1 million bond. And that brings us to today. A new jury has already been selected. And this morning, that sentencing phase will begin once again. Reporting live at the Harris County Courthouse, Shelby Rose, Fox 26 News.
Let's continue this conversation. We want to bring in Fox 26 senior legal analyst Chris Tritico for more insight into this case, which is so confusing because it has been all over the place. Thanks for being here. So what happens now with this? I mean, do you feel like something will be settled this time once and for all?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it can still be appealed again, but the case will have a resolution this time. So with the hung jury last time on punishment, that means this trial is just about punishment. They cannot put on their guilt-innocence case again. So the state will come in and they will put on all of their evidence to the jury. The defense cannot put on their guilt-innocence case. So their evidence about an alternative theory of who killed his wife, all of that evidence is excluded in this punishment trial because that's already been litigated, and the first jury found they didn't believe it because they found him guilty. So now we're just talking about what is the punishment. So
they still would have to get this jury up to speed on everything, right? So how does that fare differently than a criminal trial that we're so used to seeing when you just have a sentencing file? Because this jury hasn't been sitting there all that time to listen to that criminal trial.
That's why the state gets to put on all of its evidence from guilt-innocence. So all of the guilt-innocence evidence that the state has will come into evidence for the jury. The defense just doesn't get to put on its defensive evidence from guilt-innocence. We had an alternative theory of a shooter who killed her. That doesn't come in this time. And then the defense will talk about what's its punishment evidence. His son will testify again, and that was very powerful evidence in the first punishment trial, and probably went a long way towards hanging the jury up on punishment the first time. I expect that will come in, and they'll have more evidence this time on what should be appropriate punishment.
Speaking of punishment, how much time could he possibly face? So
this is now a murder trial. He could get probation all the way up to 99 years or life. And what's that likely to be? That's really hard to. I've never speculated on what that's going to be. In a case like this, you're never surprised if it's a long time, and you're certainly never surprised if a jury gives somebody in these circumstances a probation. I mean, there's just no way to tell.
All right, Chris, thank you for your expertise and helping us understand it all better.